In the mid-19th century, a relentless ambition gripped the British Empire to conquer the elusive Northwest Passage, a legendary sea route through the Arctic, promising trade and glory. Sir John Franklin, a seasoned but controversial explorer, was chosen to lead the boldest attempt yet. With two of the most advanced ships of their time, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, he set sail in May 1845, carrying 129 men and enough provisions for 3 years. Their mission? To chart the final, unknown stretch of the passage. Their fate? To vanish without a trace, leaving behind a horrifying trail of clues. What truly happened to the Franklin expedition? And could the desperate struggle for survival have led to the ultimate taboo? Today, History's Secrets delves into one of history's most chilling and enduring mysteries. We reconstruct their tragic journey, examining the harrowing discoveries and the shocking scientific revelations that revealed the true horrors faced by Franklin's men. This is the story of ambition, endurance, and unimaginable despair in the unforgiving Arctic. The Grand Ambition. The Grand Ambition. The Northwest Passage had long been a holy grail for navigators. For centuries, explorers had dreamed of finding a shortcut from the Atlantic to the Pacific, unlocking immense wealth. By the 1840s, most of the passage had been charted, leaving only a crucial unexplored segment. Sir John Franklin, despite a previous disastrous expedition, was chosen to complete this epic quest. His ships, Erebus and Terror, were state-of-the-art, reinforced with iron plating, fitted with steam engines, and even a complex heating system. They represented the pinnacle of Victorian naval technology, seemingly invincible. The crew of 129 men, seasoned sailors and officers, were filled with confidence. Their provisions, meticulously packed, included enough food for 3 years, canned goods, and even a library. In July 1845, the ships were sighted by whaling vessels in Baffin Bay. This would be their last confirmed contact with the outside world. Into the ice, into the ice. For months, Franklin's expedition pushed deeper into the Arctic archipelago. Their progress was initially good, navigating treacherous ice fields and charting new waters. But by September 1846, disaster struck. HMS Erebus and HMS Terror became hopelessly trapped in the thick ice west of King William Island. The expectation was that the ice would break up with the spring thaw. But spring came and the ice held. Then another winter. The two ships remained frozen in place. The long, dark Arctic winter, with its extreme cold and perpetual night, tested their endurance. Despite the ship's advanced heating, the conditions were brutal. Sickness began to take its toll. In the first winter alone, 9 men died, including 3 officers. Their graves, on Beechy Island, would be among the first grim discoveries years later. The desperate retreat. The desperate retreat. By April 1848, after nearly 2 years trapped, the situation was dire. Supplies were dwindling, and their health was failing. Captain Crozier, now in command after Franklin's death, made a fateful decision. The remaining 105 men would abandon the ships and attempt an overland trek to the mainland. It was a desperate gamble, a march across hundreds of miles of frozen, barren landscape, dragging heavy lifeboats and supplies. Their plan: to reach the Great Fish River, a known route to civilization. But the journey was doomed from the start. The men, already weakened by scurvy and starvation, were ill-equipped for such an arduous trek. Their wool and cotton clothing offered little protection against the relentless Arctic cold. They left a trail of abandoned equipment and fallen comrades.
We must persist in our efforts for the sake of those lost and for the honor of our nation.
A grim testament to their struggle. Many fell by the wayside, their bodies succumbing to exhaustion, exposure, and disease. The haunting discoveries. The haunting discoveries. As years passed with no word, England launched numerous search expeditions. It became one of history's largest and most expensive search efforts, driven by Lady Franklin's tireless campaigning. In 1850, the graves of the first 3 men were found on Beechey Island, offering the first tangible evidence of the expedition's grim fate. But the most crucial breakthrough came in 1859, when Captain Francis McClintock discovered a cairn on King William.
Good heavens.
This cannot be true.
Cannibalism, gentlemen. Unspeakable.
Island. Inside, a vital note, updated by Captain Crozier. It confirmed Franklin's death in 1847. It stated the ships were abandoned in April 1848, and the surviving men were attempting a march to the Great Fish River. What McClintock's men found next sent shockwaves through Victorian society. Along the presumed march route, scattered skeletons, many bearing distinct knife marks, suggesting the unthinkable: cannibalism. This horrific revelation was initially met with disbelief and denial by the British Admiralty. Further discoveries over the decades reinforced the grim picture. Artifacts, scattered equipment, and more human remains. The ultimate prize, the ships themselves, remained lost for over a century and a half. Then, in 2014, HMS Erebus was discovered relatively intact. 2 years later, HMS Terror was found, remarkably preserved in the frigid depths. These discoveries offered new hope for answers. Unraveling the theories. Unraveling the theories. The initial theories for the expedition's failure centered on starvation and hypothermia. But modern science has provided more unsettling answers. In the 1980s, forensic analysis of the remains found on King William Island began. Bone samples revealed alarmingly high levels of lead, suggesting severe lead poisoning from improperly soldered food cans. Lead poisoning causes cognitive impairment, delirium, and extreme fatigue, which would have severely hampered the men's ability to navigate and survive. However, later studies have suggested that lead poisoning alone may not have been the sole cause of death, but a contributing factor. Other diseases like tuberculosis, a common killer in the 19th century, also played a significant role. Recent DNA analysis of remains has even identified one of the officers, contributing to the growing body of evidence. But the most disturbing evidence points to human desperation. The knife marks on bones, meticulously analysed, show clear signs of dismemberment, flesh removal, and bone fragmentation consistent with cannibalism. This was not a quick, desperate act by 1 or 2 men. The widespread evidence suggests a systematic attempt to survive by any means. This wasn't unique in polar exploration, but the scale of the Franklin expedition's demise makes it uniquely horrific. Accounts from local Inuit communities, gathered by early searchers like John Ray, spoke of white men seen dragging sledges and possessing human flesh, long before the archaeological discoveries confirmed such grim acts. Modern interpretations often combine these theories. The men were weakened by lead poisoning, scurvy, and tuberculosis. Starvation and hypothermia then pushed them to the brink, leading to the horrifying acts of cannibalism as a last, desperate resort. The discovery of Erebus and Terror offers new avenues for research. What secrets do their untouched interiors still hold? Will they reveal the final days of the crew, their last thoughts, their ultimate despair?